What's going on, guys? This is the NinteyOne Podcast. It's a hot day. We've got a hot topic, and we're going to discuss some new and pre-owned hot hatches that we love.
Right. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. As always, I'm joined by my two good friends, Raja and John. So, like he said, breaking it down, basically we're going to pick one new modern hot hatch and then one that you can find for under $7,000. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you guys my pick. I think you guys will really like it. Can you guys see it?
You can see it now.
The 2020 AMG A45. Now, this might not be a traditional route for me because it's German, but I think this is really outstanding as far as the car that you get for the price. First of all, take a look at the styling. It's pretty epic. It's 60,000 and it goes up from there depending on options. 416 horsepower from a 2-liter turbo inline 4-cylinder. That is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful 4-cylinder you can buy on the market today. And it's, of course, it comes with all the same stuff like the AMG Heritage. Take a look at the quad pipes out the back. It's going to sound awesome. And it's zippy. It's got huge brakes. So it's really one of those cars that will do everything you wanted to do as a driver and do it on a dime. So that's my first pick, 60,000. I'm going to go to my second pick before I let you guys jump in here. My second pick is a 2008 Volvo C30 R Design. Now, this may look a little funky at first, but it's really unique when you start looking at it. I mean, look at the engine. It's a 2.5-liter inline 5-cylinder. That's super rare. On top of being a Volvo C30, R Design, it's even more rare. It's really unique in styling. Like, it's got that weird window thing in the back. And it's a 6-speed manual, a true driver's car, and you can find it for under $7K. So what do you guys think?
I liked your first pick, the Volvo. The AMG. It's just that, it's too bad that we don't get the hatch here. We only get the sedan. But yeah, honestly, I agree with that. The motors, how many horsepower was it again?
Which one?
The AMG?
416.
416 out of a 2-liter turbo. That's absolutely nuts. That's 200 horsepower per liter almost. Oh, actually, no, it is. It's over.
So it's pretty high screaming.
It's crazy. How much is it again?
It's 60,000 and then it goes up from there.
That's quite a lot.
We're gonna ignore the price.
That's quite a lot for a hatchback. Yikes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, go ahead.
I really like your first pick. It's incredible. I'm not very well versed in my German cars. I know a little bit about this car, but it was good to learn more about it. And honestly, it's just a true driver, and it's leaning a little more to the hot side in terms of hot hatch, which is great. And
I'd agree. Yeah,
it really does reflect in its price, and it's a good pick.
Yeah. All right. Honestly, the second pick, I want to talk about the second pick, the Volvo. I used to drool over this car. This car, Full-Star, especially the Full-Star edition. I remember that car was it was good looking.
It's an awesome hot hatch.
Yeah, there's a 5-cylinder. Nobody makes a 5-cylinder.
Nobody makes a 5-cylinder.
And if you get the right exhaust on it, it sounds like a baby V10. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Volvo has been making quality hatches, wagons, sedans for decades. So that's honestly a great pick, something that I completely forgot about. Just like Jonathan, when this car was new, I really enjoyed the car, enjoyed learning about it. I haven't driven either of these vehicles, but I definitely would love to drive the Volvo and the AMG, but I think they're just incredible picks.
Honestly, nothing wrong, except, you just
the
need
pricing.
You just need some deep pockets for that AMG one.
True. Okay, who's next?
Rod, go ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen. I wanted to make a very nice slideshow, just like Varghese. That's how we're going to do this as it progresses. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to do that. But we're taking it back to the basics.
I knew this car would be here.
And this is the original hot hatch, the VW GTI, the 2020. Yes. I believe this is only offered in a 4-door nowadays, which is a little sad.
Yeah.
It also comes in manual transmission, which is a very big plus for me. Also with that very quick DSG, which is awesome as well. It comes in at about 228 horsepower, and obviously it's equipped with a 2-liter turbo, front-wheel drive. It's got a lot of good technology to keep you planted on the road, as well as confident in the corners without torque oversteer, stuff like that that's plagued front-wheel drive vehicles in the past. I think when you think of a hot hatch, you want something that's going to kind of blend in, be a great grocery getter, family hauler, but also let its hair down and really surprise you and become a driver's car when you need it to be. So I think that the GTI does a great job of that. And for the price, this is me doing a quick cars search right here. It comes in at about $25,000, which honestly, you can't really beat that for the price. You're getting a great car with obviously a proud history.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't fault you on this pick. Like I said, as soon as you introed it, I knew somebody would bring this to the mix because, like you said, it is the original hot hatch. The one thing I hate about it, and I don't say hate a lot, but the one thing I hate about it are those seats. I hate those seats, man.
The heritage,
the cloth, the Clark cloth.
Oh, I can't do it.
Yep,
it's so random. But I have driven it, and I do agree. I think it's really nice. Especially with what you were talking about with the torque steer and everything, you don't really feel that at all. It almost feels rear wheel drive when you start zipping it around.
Definitely one of the most
solid picks.
Yeah, I mean, not really much I can go on right here. It's like it's a solid car. The one thing I'll say is new generation is about to come out, so we'll just have to see if that what is it? How many generations have there been?
I think the newest one is going to be the Mach 8, MK8.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mark 8. How well that's going to hold up to the same formula.
Yeah.
Considering Volkswagen, it's probably going to be the same.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share with you guys my budget pick. Let me go ahead and do that really quickly.
I'm interested now. I want to see what he types in.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did that go ahead and go? New share. Share. Can you guys see that?
No, wait. Oh, of course.
Oh, of course.
This is
quick disclaimer.
Okay. I'm picking the DC2 Acura Integra GSR. As you guys know, my daily driver is a 99 DC4, which is the LS. Now, I don't really have to intro the Acura Integra here. We all know it's front-wheel drive. It's a pioneer, really. It's got that double wishbone suspension up in the front. But the thing that makes the GSR great is that it has this legendary B18C motor, which is honestly, it's incredible. It revs out to about, I believe, 8,000 RPM. I've got the numbers right here. It's a 1.8 liter, 170 horsepower, 128 foot-pounds of torque. Doesn't have the torque number, but I know that the red line is close to 8, if not 8.
Yeah.
And just having driven this vehicle, it's really a good balance of power with the LS. So I could only imagine with the GSR, and you have that Honda reliability, and this car is just so fun to drive in its tame state. So I can only imagine that the GSR is going to be that much fun, if not more. And they come in, you can get a really nice one for about $7,000, and I think it's a great pick for a sleeper hot hatch.
That's not yours. I mean, the Integra is not your traditional hatch, but I mean, like, it's still a hatchback regardless. But yeah, I like this pick. Honestly, personally, I'm not a fan of the circle headlights. I like the JDM, the rectangular ones better.
Mm-hmm.
But I've driven your car. It's fun to drive for sure. So, I mean,
I like the circular headlights. In fact, I think one of the best things about anybody that's owned this vehicle is you almost never find it stock, like bone stock. You know, there's usually something going on. It's one of those cars where it comes with the important bits that you don't need to really modify, like the engine, the transmission, and the suspension. But everything else, you can go up and down anywhere really, and you can find so many different parts and make it your own.
Honestly, with the Acura Integra, I think you can it's such a good starting base.
Yeah.
For if you're gonna go modifications, I mean, you can see so many K swaps, Type R imitations. Like if you're gonna really pour money into it, buy the sticker, slap it on the side.
Yeah, but I think even if you were to just go out and get one with everything original, like I agree. It seems slow. 170 seems slow today, because like your average car can get like 250 horsepower, but for what it is and how light it is and its time, it's a solid pick. I gotta say that this one kind of went over my head. I wouldn't even have thought about that one.
Awesome. Jonathan, let's see your picks, my friend.
All right. Let me take you back to 1997. Deep in the mountains of Japan, Honda Motor Corporation.
If he says Type R.
They came out, they souped up in a Econo box, with a B18 engine. They gave you the Honda Civic Type R, right? 20 years later, they finally came to our shores in America. Roger, give me sharing permission. It finally came to our shores, right? So this is my pick right here. I mean, look at it.
Of course you would go for the Type.
How can I not pick my own car? I'm a proud owner of a 2020 Honda Civic Type R. This has the K20, a K20 engine with a turbo on it. I don't remember the exact engine code.
Mm-hmm.
Shame on me. Forget it. But when I drove this thing, man, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to drive. 305 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque, all to the front wheels. Honda, they did something amazing with this car right here. They redesigned the whole front suspension. So, they've moved the steering pivot, I think it's the steering pivot, off center, so you get no torque steer whatsoever. If anything ridiculous about this car is the 20-inch wheels. I'm always afraid.
That's the only thing. See, okay, I think it's a great package, and I really, as much as I rag on Honda every now and then, I really do think they came and pulled this out of the bag. It's unique, and it's like a revival of something that has kind of arguably been hollowed out over the years. I think it's a little over the top.
Really?
With all the front fascia, all the line. That was the one thing for me. And then, some of them you get like the little vortice things that come off the roof. I call them like the little Pokemon ears. Yeah, like those right there. But to be fair, that's kind of the point of this car. It's not supposed to be for everybody to look at and say, hey, that's, I want that. It's for people that know what's underneath all that skin. And another fair point, it's all functional stuff. It's not just a ridiculous wing to be ridiculous,
Let me put it
But I do
way.
love the exhaust. I think the exhaust is really cool.
Let me put
Triple exhaust. That's weird.
Honda did all the modifications for you. See?
Yeah.
You
that would sum it up.
You compare this to the Toyota Supra, they're like, oh, you're supposed to do the modifications yourself. Honda's like, nah, we'll just give you the whole package.
We'll take care of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when we came up with this topic, I knew you were going to pick this car. Naturally, it's your vehicle. I kind of did the same thing. I really love the Type R, and I've had the pleasure of driving one. I wonder where, but it's such a driver's-oriented car.
I do agree.
That it kind of, in my opinion, it goes above what a hot hatch is. And I think it's a great package. I think it's amazing. I wish it was a little bit cheaper and it was kind of more true to its origin, where it came from, which was being, a peppy, very not inexpensive, but relatively affordable vehicle. Yeah. Obviously, when you look at this car, you're getting a driver's car. You're getting a hot hatch. You're getting more than a hot hatch. You're getting something more than that, and you're going to have to pay for it, which I'm totally okay with. And I think it's just an awesome car. But in my book, if somebody said, I need a hot hatch, the Type R just isn't that, because you can't – it doesn't allow you to drive it normally. It wants you to chuck it. It wants you to go fast. And I think that's something
It's
you
a
have
Sunday
to have.
driver.
Yeah, you have to have that control of this vehicle. Otherwise, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. And that's no fault of this vehicle's at all. It's no fault of Honda's. It's a great car. I love it. But it's more than a hot hatch to me.
Yeah. Honestly, I see myself 10 years from now still owning this car,
Yeah.
I can fit my wife, 2 kids.
Might be a future classic. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's the first generation of the Honda Civic Type R to come to America,
Right.
Yeah.
It's really something special. All right.
What color do you have, Jonathan?
I have the championship white. The only color you should get the Honda Civic Type R in.
Oh.
The only one.
I agree. I mean, looking at this right now, when you first pulled it up, I thought it was a Focus RS.
The Boost Blue. Yeah.
All right, let's see your 7K pick.
All right. 7K pick. I actually stayed within the rules this time. I didn't cheat. I cheated last time. But, we got to stick with Honda. Honda makes some of the best hot hatches. How is this not one? The Acura RSX Type S.
Yeah.
All right. This car, when I was younger, every time I saw this car with the wing on the back, it always looked cool, no matter what. Like,
yes, it does.
Sure, it's hard to find like a clean one right now. They're all modified, but hey, I mean, the Type S, this has another K20 motor in it, naturally aspirated, 201 horsepower.
Yeah.
The VTEC fanatics out there will back me up on this. You got, it's a classic Honda. I mean, the interior's, not probably the Acura luxury standards we know of today. But back then, Acura was more of the
I'd say this is more
sporty
bare
brand
bones.
instead of luxury brand of Honda.
What do you think, Raja?
See, I really wanted to pick the RSX for my budget pick as well. I think it's great at what it is, but it's a chunky boy. That RSX is really chunky. And when you have kind of a car that puts out a decent amount of power, the weight really comes into play. And I would venture to say that my Integra and a GSR version of my Integra will handle better than this just because it's lighter. But honestly, it's a great pick. Like if somebody told me I'm able to get a clean one for $5, I wouldn't say, oh, I don't think you should buy it because it doesn't handle well. But if I'd had my choice, I would pick the older, cheaper one. But that's just me.
Fair enough.
Well, okay, but this is one of those cars that came out of the factory just being cool. It's just one of those vehicles where, like John was saying, like you see one and you're like, that's just cool. And it doesn't hurt with the 200 plus horsepower.
Yeah. You scream all the way to 7,000 RPM. That's nothing to laugh at.
No, yeah. Dang, I think we all kind of got through solid. Well, no, mine was a little controversial because of the price.
Price.
I know,
60K plus. God. What, you couldn't find any V8 hatchbacks out there?
I couldn't. I wish I could. I was going to ask you guys if engine swaps were okay.
I thought he was going to pick the GTI VR6 just because that was the most number of cylinders.
I was looking at the screen and I was like, that's the most cylinders. That's where I'm going to go.
Dude, I thought he was going to come out here with that, that Volkswagen Golf concept with the W12 in the back.
Man. Hey, but solid picks. Let us know what you guys think. Not only of our picks, but what would your picks be? A modern pick of a hot hatch that maybe we didn't talk about here, or maybe you have a different opinion about one, and maybe a budget one that you can find for $7K or under. Let us know.
Be sure to find us on our Twitter and our Instagram. Our username is NinteyOne_podcast.
Yeah, and you can comment on there. And if you just want to listen to the audio work, maybe on your way to work, on a Sunday drive, whatever you want to do, you can find us on anchor.fm at NinteyOne Podcast, spelled out just like that. And we're also available on Pocket Cast now, if that is something you guys listen to. and, of course, Spotify. What do you say, John? We go ahead and wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I mean, not much else to do other than nothing much to say other than I probably picked the best hot hatch out of all of us.
This guy. You're lucky we're
Yeah.
quarantined.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wait until we get a studio.
Oh. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys at the pump next time.
Peace.
All right.